All right, welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about transforming lives one story at a time. And I love inviting people from all walks of life to come and share their heart stories, their stories of transformation, upliftment. And we are joined again with another amazing woman. I'm so proud to call her a friend. She is a wonderful mover and shaker in the community, and she's a media personality and also a marketing specialist. And we'll find out more about her story. So without further ado, I'm going to please welcome Mirella Scalise. How you doing today, Mirella?
Hi, Nikki. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored and blessed to be here today. Thank you. How's it going?
It's going great, and I'm the one who's honored.
Thank
Um,
you.
just a little information for those who are watching. Mirella so kindly invited me on her show not once, not twice, but thrice, and we had some amazing conversations about just everything under the sun. And that's the type of person Mirella is, just really easy to talk to. With that as an opening, let's find out about who you are, Mirella. So tell us a little bit about your background leading up to what you're doing today.
Oh, well, thank you again, Nikki. I really, really appreciate it. I have been told that my life is quite dynamic, full of many chapters, and I have to agree with them. I really do. I had a wonderful and have a wonderful upbringing and very, very family oriented, very close to family who really taught me the values of respect and honor and trust and collaboration and community always, and so, going through school and going through, I wanted to be a CNN correspondent when I graduated. First, I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to help people, and I still do. Then I wanted to be a CNN correspondent. Then I had dreams of becoming an Olympic volleyball player, and I still play to this day when I can, And I really wanted to be able to share my voice, always be everything that I like to do, everything that I wanted to do. My passion has always thrived on teamwork and being part of a greater team and, being part of a community to do good things and really, really make a difference, really affect change, really impact change. And in terms of, being a storyteller, I wanted to share my voice because I always felt like I had a lot to say. I would write, still write, of course. I wrote poetry. I wrote my thoughts down of everything that I experienced and the people that I met, along the way, right? And so here we are, and I graduated from a journalism program, and I was going to, I was going to just take the world by storm. This was my mantra. And during this period of time, I met the love of my life, my husband Frank, who gave us two beautiful daughters, Felicia and Julia. And I, in some way or another, I didn't give up my dreams, but I pursued different dreams of building a life with my husband. And really, we had common goals, and we had, just common values about what we wanted to do together to raise our kids and just be happy and bring joy to each other and to everybody we met, right? And so I became a corporate executive. I spent many, many, many years there. I often talk about my experiences there. A lot of very good, but I'm, like you said, I'm a bit of a rebel and quite the disruptor. So I like to and appreciate having candid conversations. So with every experience that I have, good or bad, I always take the lesson and what it's teaching me. So we had a beautiful, life together, and I had a very accomplished career. I was really proud of, what I was doing, and my husband supported me every, step of the way, and our children were growing, and my family stayed close, and all of this. And, we were on our way, and I was on my way. During that period of time, I would always say to my husband, I really feel like I'm doing a lot for the companies that I'm working with, but I really wanted to take it another level. And I really wanted to be able to do what I do best and resonate it with people and change people's lives and change their trajectory of how their day-to-day is going. And so due to a number of what I call personal and professional catalysts that, happened all at the same time, namely the sudden death of my husband, and he was the love of my life. I took some time off, not immediately, but after several years, to really understand what it all meant, and if what I was doing and where I was going was where I was meant to go, because we all want to be successful, we all want to make a living, we all want to make money, but success, I believe, is different for many people. So for me, success changed for me, and it changed for me because I didn't have my husband anymore, and of course still have our beautiful children, and I'm so blessed every single day. But my viewpoint of what was really truly important in terms of what are we doing all of this for really, really changed. And so after several years later in my life, in my late 40s, I decided to walk away from it all. I just walked away from it all one day, and I decided to do something that I hadn't done for myself in a very long time. I took care of myself. I never took vacation when I was working because, there was always so much work and they depend on me, and what are they going to do without me? And, everyone's, replaceable, but I was like, they need me, and my work is my passion, just like, anything else. However, I learned a really, really tough lesson, which is I had to focus on myself and really feel what I was experiencing and what I had gone through. And I didn't want my husband's passing to go in vain. I didn't want, another 10 years to go by and I'd still be, doing the same thing. And I felt empty. I felt quite void. And so I took 18 months off for what I call my vacation that I collected for over 30 years that I didn't really take. And I spent time, reacquainting myself with me, getting to know me again, and rediscovering me as a woman, and as a mom, and as a person in the community that had a lot to say, but didn't know how to say it yet, because I was still going through my feelings. I was still going through my emotions. I was still going through fear, because I was like, who would want to hear what I have to say? Who is going to learn, or, how am I going to help people through what I've been through? Because at that time, all I could see was my chapter 1 in my life was done with, and I didn't want to let it go. I didn't want to let it go. I met my husband when I was only 18. We were high school sweethearts, you see, and we had a beautiful love story, and we got, married, and we were on a path, and we were raising our children, and we were doing everything that we wanted to do and that we felt we needed to do, right? And we were enjoying life together. And so you imagine 30 years of, enjoying that bliss and having a career that I was very proud of. And all of a sudden I get thrown into, talk about the wild, talk about the unknown, talk about what is happening right now. It just hit me like, a ton of bricks. And for anyone that's ever experienced grief and has had to really recalibrate everything that they know from the heart and everything from around them, it is not easy. There's really no guidebook or tutorial that's going to tell you, yes, you can Google lots of different things, but every journey and every person's journey is very, very different, right? So I really had to take this time away. I walked away from it all and you know what? I focused on my health. So if you think about it, I gave up wealth to focus on my health, and I had to do that. And this is my thought process. I thought the health, if it's there and you're ready to go, the wealth will come back, right? But if you don't have your health, you got nothing. And then the second lesson in my journey was wealth is actually not about money. Wealth is about wisdom. It's about understanding. It's about shared perspective. It's about love, love unconditionally, bringing your authentic self to other people's lives, allowing other people to be their best because you're bringing your real self to the table. That was what wealth was for me. That's where I think I elevated things a little bit, because I was striving for peace of mind, and I struggled so much because I didn't know how to get it, right? Because Mirella before controlled her roots and her destiny and her thought process and her career, and we made decisions, my husband and I. The new Mirella, who had absolutely no comprehension of what just happened, absolutely controlled nothing. So I really, really went through a time where I put in the work, and I had to understand who I was as a person, as a woman, why all these things were happening, and how I was going to take what just happened and how I've been changed to how I was going to move it forward to my chapter 2. And then there's my chapter 2. And so now I'm in my chapter 2. Did you want me to continue? Because I got to tell you,
yeah, I want to hear about the chapter 2. I have a feeling, it kind of opens up into the show and how you invited so many wonderful lives and being part of it. But yeah, please tell us.
Thank you, Nikki. I learned, while I was taking this time off, I remember, imagine I had a job, I had a career to go to every day for decades. And when I took this time off, I sat my family down and I said, listen, this is what's going on with me, my children, my mom, my dad. And I said, I am a tough cookie. I'm really strong, but I can't, keep the Band-Aid on the using anymore. I can't do it. I need to just kind of relinquish control, throw the white towel in the ring, and I need to really concede to my feelings. Where I'm going with this is that as an empath, we love with all our heart. We love people, and my family, my kids, my parents, my brother, we had lost a pivotal, part of our family who had been in our family for 30 years. And so they were hurting as well. They were going through their own grief. I did not want to add more burden on them by telling them that I couldn't keep it together anymore. That I, after 5 or 6 or 7 years, no longer could keep it together anymore. So I sat them down and I tried to explain it the best way that I could. And I said, trauma is a very intricate thing. It fools you into thinking that you're okay because you get out of bed in the morning, because you put on the same color socks. You don't forget to put on your shoes, and you walk out the door. It fools you into thinking you're okay. All I was really doing was I was surviving and I was coping the best way I could. And I was trying to move on with my life without dealing with losing my husband. What ends up happening is when you can't acknowledge and accept it, it's still there. You haven't cleared it. You haven't released it. And then it continues to fester and it bottles up into something that is unrecognizable, and it manifests into other things, whether it be, physical illness or moods or whatever the case may be. So I think it was at this time now, March of 2016, had a complete breakdown. And that's when I decided to walk away. And I knew it was coming too. That's the other thing. I knew it was coming, but I'm like, I'm strong. I'm a fighter. I've been through stuff. I can do this, And while all of those things are true, I didn't allow myself to just breathe and feel and cry and hurt and just deal with the residual feelings that I felt, which I think it is actually a terminology called survivor's guilt. And I dealt with that for, a very, very long time. So fast forward to this hiatus in my life that I took. And for the first time, I didn't have an office to go to. I didn't have, a deadline to go to. I felt so free. I felt really, really free. And even though I didn't know what my chapter 2 was going to look like, I knew that I was exactly where I'm supposed to be at that point in time. So one day, because when I was downtown working, I'd always say, one of these days I'm going to retire and I'm going to sit there at the Starbucks corner and I'm going to watch people while I'm having coffee. I'm going to do it, right? So one day I actually did. I left the house, I got in the car, I went downtown. I didn't have anybody to meet. I didn't have anything to do. And I went in the corner cafe, I grabbed a coffee. It was a beautiful summer day. and I sat at a table and I'm actually watching people walk by, right? On their phones, with their laptops, reading the paper, stuck in traffic. You can see so much. You can learn so much in just doing that for an hour or 20 minutes or 6 hours. You can tell so much. And being a marketing major and a psychology minor, I was just, all the, the bells were going off in my head because you know what I was thinking, Nikki? I was thinking, I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of these people, but I know one thing. They all have a story. They all have something going on with them right now, at home, at work, in their past, in their current. I knew that. I didn't not necessarily know what it was, but I just knew. And I've always been intrigued about people. I've always been intuitive about people. And I've always wanted to be able, like yourself, to look and explore the inner workings of what people are going through. And the other thing and as you know, I'm not a highlight reel on social media. People that know me on social media know me off social media as to be the same. And I do want to infuse motivation and inspiration. In order for me to really get to know people, I have to understand what they're going through. Even though at a distance, sitting at the table, I knew people were going through something. I might not know exactly what it is. So what I decided to do was I took this time off, 12 to 15 months, and I started to meet and connect with people on social media. And I started to have conversations with people, and I started to engage in their stuff, or I started to post stuff. And I was sitting there going, I don't know who's gonna, want to hear about this stuff, but I have a thought today. Let's post it. And all of a sudden people start to gravitate and they start to connect and they start to tell you that you're inspiring and that your post that day helped them, help get them through the day. Your photo with your smile helped them get through the day. So I took it one step further, and for about a year, I kid you not, I met probably about 900 people for coffee in person. And that didn't include the Skype calls. It didn't include the, phone calls. It didn't in person. It was a lot of coffee, but I got to tell you something absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Something absolutely phenomenal happened. I was sitting there not knowing what exactly the whole objective was. I just wanted to talk to people. I wanted to understand what they were dealing with because I was going through some stuff and I wanted to know, is it okay that I'm going through this? Am I feeling okay? Am I okay to feel what I'm feeling, And you know what beautiful things happened? Not only was it totally okay, and I knew it all along, I just needed that, reaffirmation, is that they started to trust me and confide in me and tell me what they were dealing with, right? Life, business, relationships, family, everything in between. And then I started to open up about my feelings and losing my husband in the last several years of my life and what I was thinking and what I was feeling. And before you know it, we're having conversations all over the place at all different coffee outlets, in the greater Toronto area. And it was part of my healing journey, right? So here I'm thinking that, wow, they're really, really helping me. And then they did, all walks of life, people from all over the place. It was such a beautiful thing. But I also got reminded that I was helping people. And Nikki, for me, that was really, really important because I hadn't, felt like I was helping people in a really, really long time. And that's what ended up happening. So it was quite therapeutic for me at the same time. And it's the beauty of having, candid conversations and being, honest with yourself and being, raw with yourself and just being truthful with yourself. So my mantra has always been stay true to yourself and everything else will take care of itself. So yeah, it was just a wonderful journey for me. 12 months, 14 months, 16 months. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm still on that journey now. The only difference is I've taken those coffee outings and all of those, conversations that I had, and all over the greater Toronto area. And I've translated it into a show that I do, every single week on Frequency 5 FM and called the Anything Goes shows. I've translated it into a beautiful, authentic following and connection of people that I have on social media. I've translated that into my own healing journey and one-on-one conversations like this. I just translated that to this. So the Anything Goes shows, which I started with my daughter Julia on Thursday nights, I started them as a platform for my daughter and I to be able to release and be able to share and be able to hope that people would gravitate to what we were dealing with and going through, and giving people a safe space, just like the Nikki Clarke Show, right? And allowing people to join us and welcome us into their homes and on their phones. And we were doing that. And then I spun off that show to more of a business platform at the beginning of the year. But again, make no mistake, business and life is very much intertwined. We still have fun. We still have great conversation, candid conversation about the people that are on the show. And right now we're somewhere in the vicinity of 100. We're almost at 150 shows, I think, something like that. And you know what? We just said, let's do one show. Let's just do one show. Let's see how it goes, right? And here we are. So yes, I would say that my story and what I'm sharing here today is that I lost my voice for a little while. And I didn't know if I wanted to share my voice anymore. And all of a sudden I'm sharing, and then I'm sharing, and then I'm talking with others and they're sharing. And then this community of people come together. And the common denominator here is stay true to yourself and don't be afraid that others are going to judge you. People are going to talk regardless. Own your power and share what you're going through, because it will help you and absolutely will help other people as well. So it's definitely been a transformative journey for me, 100%.
Excellent. Well, Mirella, I'm so proud of you. I really marvel at how you've taken moments in the valley, and not only have you worked your way to the mountaintop, but you've also shown people how to work the way out of their own valleys. We have those days, we have those years where it's very difficult, but when we get out of it and we're on the other side, very often we turn our back and we don't teach. So it's really a gift that you have through your ways of communicating with people, which is really a God-given talent to help them move forward in their lives. So I really appreciate the person you are, and I wish you a world of success. And your daughters too, very talented. Julia and Felicia, I know that Julia is she's just a natural performer. I see her on the show, and she's just an incredible young woman. So keep doing what you're doing. You have my 100% support. So Mirella, please tell us, so in the 2021, what are some of the highlights that we can anticipate for what you're going to be doing with the show, or anything else coming up?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we're always coming up with different things. Like, so for example, when we were stuck at home with the first kind of strain of the lockdowns, my daughter and I, we did a whole bunch of we just started doing things from home. We did home editions. And then over the summertime, when things were lifted, what we did was we actually did a on the road.
I love that.
Anything goes. And it was nice because we were in the car and we were visiting fans and viewers and friends and dropping off coffees. And we're always talking about the infamous drive-throughs and experiences. And we just wanted to bring it a little bit more to life. And we did that. But the whole purpose of that is just to show that it doesn't matter where we are, whether we're in a studio or at home or in the car, there's always a place to have community conversations and candid conversations and being, you know, being there and supporting one another. It really doesn't matter, rain or shine. That's the whole point, you know? So we weren't going to let the lockdown stop us at all. And we did it. We just went right through. We did take a much needed break at the end of the summer to obviously to, you know, to rejuvenate our, you know, our energy. It was much needed. So moving into, you know, right now, till we still have lots left on Anything Goes for the year. We're having a whole bunch of different series and segments. We're having those conversations that are hitting the headlines that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, they don't understand maybe, and instead of, you know, maybe trying to impact change, just don't want to because they're afraid, they don't even know what's going on. And listen, we live in a world where the reality is this: if we don't, this is not my world, but we live in a world where if we don't have anything to gain, why should we bother? And I'm more like, I got nothing to gain except helping people love one another and support one another. And I'm a disruptor, so you better believe, whether I'm in a Tim Hortons drive-through or somewhere else, as long as there, you know, I have a platform to share my voice and to help inspire. You don't have to know everything about every topic that's trending. You just have to know that people are hurting and people need us, you know? So that's always been my motto. So moving into 2021, we have, we're on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. We got so many more amazing folks coming through, so many guests, so many things that we're going to be doing. We've also started to launch an Anything Goes event series. So we're doing online workshops, we're doing online webinars, if you will, online, you know, conversations where people can, it's more of an intimate setting. So with the show, obviously people can tune in and they can engage and what have you, and it's wonderful. With the event platforms, they are dedicated to so many different topics and issues that even if you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people, it's more of an intimate conversation style, education, helping people along with different things. So we just did 2. I'm launching 2 more before the end of the year, and then we're going to continue doing that online, of course. And then once the restrictions lift, we're taking our Anything Goes platform and we're taking it on the road and we're taking it to venues, and we're going to start to bring people together again, you know, in the same venues, under the same roof, for the greater goal of real community. And so there's going to be lots left. I'm not done yet. This is, I say it's my chapter 2, and I really should be retired at this point, but and some days I really want to be, but I'm far from done because I feel that my journey here is just is really just beginning, you know?
Absolutely. Well, I'm enjoying what I'm witnessing of your chapter 2, and I thank you for allowing me to be part of the chapter 2 through your show and other connections. So tell us, how can people connect with you on social media? Where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook first. They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me on Instagram, Mirella.Scalise. They can find me on Frequency 5 FM. They can find me on YouTube. And we also have an Anything Goes Facebook group that Nikki is also a part of. And, you know, we have like, it's a community, and that's what I always say, you know, it's not even a group, it's a community of people coming together, and that's what these shows really do represent. And remember, if you think about it, when I said, oh, let's just do one show, when I said that to my daughter, I knew I had one vision in mind, and I told her, I said, let's bring people together in an authentic, loving way. And I remember her looking at me, and she loved the concept. But it was like, she's a millennial, right? And it's like, this is social media. Yeah. And this is going to be the Anything Goes way. So let's try it and see how it goes. And what I mean by that is people actually supporting, you know, other people. And sometimes, you know, if you're too kind, people don't get it until they get it. So we continue to show kindness and embrace people, and we keep going, and that's how it is. So you guys can find me on all handles, and I welcome the connection.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mirella. You're always a joy to talk to. I thank you again for your tenacity, how you're really growing a community of like-minded individuals. And I include myself in that company of just understanding the power of co. You know, you can do things well to, by yourself, but man, you can make things move when you have people working with you, right? So,
Right.
congratulations to all your success, and all the best to your family. If we don't connect before the holidays turn around, I just want to wish you and your family a really wonderful holiday. Enjoy your time. Have a loving time together, and we will see you very, very soon when all of this lifts.
When all of this was, thank
When
you
all of this
so
lifts.
much. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on today. Thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you so much for our conversations. It means so much. And you know what? It was one of the major positives for 2020 for me. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, and definitely a major high for me too. Having a blossoming friendship with you, Mirella, and just seeing you grow as an amazing individual. So you've been watching the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about transforming lives one story at a time, with our very special guest, media personality and marketing specialist, Mirella Scalise. So please reach out to her on social media. She's got some wonderful things to offer you. So all the best, and season's greetings to everyone watching.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now. Take care, Mirella.
Bye. See you.
Bye.